Hello and welcome back, guys. You are gaming with me, Brothgar. Now, when you think of a world record-setting car, you probably don't think of a Pontiac Trans Am Firebird from the year 77. This thing here basically is just a giant muscle car that can't turn, has Flintstone brakes, but you can slap 950 horsepower in it. Believe it or not, it's actually enough to set a world record. The record I'm going to be trying to set today here in Rivals is under Festival Routes, under Outback, and it is right on over here. This is the 4.6 mile ridiculously long and difficult track Redstone Strip Pass Trail. This thing has walls that just drive you nuts because you slide on into it, especially when you have a car that legitimately has all the power of an S2 rank vehicle, but it has none of the performance otherwise. No traction, no brakes, and if you're going to make a turn, you better plan way ahead of it. All right, first things first, we're working through the upgrades. So in the upgrade shop, the first thing you're going to want to do, at least for what I did, is I put in the 8.4 liter V10. You can actually go with the V12 and get 1,000 horsepower, but I decided to take a few different options, so I went with that. I also added the twin turbo because that is a very good choice, and all-wheel drive because you got to be able to put that power to the ground somehow. You're not going to be able to throw on any sort of special tire compound because that's just going to rank you up too fast. The front bumper here, I went with the adjustable downforce right there and the adjustable rear wing as well, and also threw on a good cool hood because, you know, it looks better that way. Besides that, we on over here to the wheels. Was not able to throw on any of the other tire compounds because you can see just how fastly that ranks things up quickly. So the only thing I was able to do with this car, and the reason that this car is as fast as it is because it has ridiculously wide tires. 275 on the front, and for the rear, I had 345. I threw on some wheels right here. Not the lightest, but I did actually be able to throw on some different ones just to kind of make it work. I did have to change the wheel rim size. This is where you kind of shave a few points if you absolutely need to. That's what I was able to do right here. 16s on the front and 19s on the back is what I had to do. A little bit goofy, but you know what? Hey man, every point counts, especially when you're trying to go for a world record. The clutch I did upgrade because obviously that's going to help us out, and the transmission is a racing transmission because I need adjustments right there. I was able to get a race driveline in to reduce the weight, and obviously a race diff right there to put that power to the ground. The brakes I was able to upgrade from like full Flintstone to mild Flintstone right there. Still, the braking performance on it is crap. 488 from 0 to 100. That's on pavement. And half the time we're off-road. Not only that, we were able to put the rally springs on it, but I did end up lowering it way down to the ground, you know, whatever, just because that's what I had to do. Anti-roll for the front bars, anti-roll for the back bars, because those are very important, and was not able to stiffen up the chassis at all or reduce the weight, so it is a ridiculous 3,890 pounds. Moving on to the point where you're going to put all the power down, I was able to not do anything with the stock intake, but I was able to get the race fuel line systems, mostly focused on the ones that are going to reduce weight the best I can right there, and that makes the most horsepower possible. So I was able to throw on just about everything here to get 949 horsepower right there. Obviously getting the race cams was a big advantage right there, the valves and everything right there, moving all the way through it. You get the idea. It's pretty much just max everything except for the race twin turbos. You could crank that up higher, but you just don't have the points for it. Was also able to throw in the Sport Intercool, a little bit of extra power at the cost of some weight right there. Oil cooler as well, also be able to get that in, and the flywheel as well. That covers all the upgrades right there to get this car to what it is, 700 points. The tuning, this is where all the magic happens. On the front, I was able to add a PSI to give myself a little bit more reaction time, and this is a strange thing right here. The gearing on this track actually works better if I make the higher top end speed more useful. I don't actually run through all the gears. The gears themselves are longer, but when all you're doing is producing wheel spin, it seems like longer gears help you accelerate faster because, you know, essentially that's what you're going to be doing. A fair amount of this track is full on wheel spin, all four wheels right there. The alignment, I did add a little bit of negative camber to the front and rear just to kind of give myself hopefully a little bit more traction. An important aspect here is I did add quite a bit of toe out to the front in order to make this car turn. It turns like an absolute bus to begin with. This just helps rotate the car, so if nothing else, I'm going to be power sliding it through corners and whatnot, or to be honest, more often than not, actually drifting it, which in some turns is going to be faster than other turns, you know, strangely enough, depending on where you need to hit that apex. Stiffen up the rear, the anti-roll bars just to kind of make things a little bit better right there. Keep the springs nice and soft. I did lower it down because a lot of this track is flat. There are several jumps, but They don't seem to affect me too much. Dampening seems to work out 9 out of 10 times to not bounce the car after a jump right there. Aero threw down a lot to the rear, some to the front right there. Brakes was not able to touch anything. Diff was these settings right there. So there you have it, guys. That is the tune here for my Pontiac 77 Firebird. You know what? It can't really turn and it can barely stop, but it can go like hell. And if you plan out your corners just right, you will actually be able to get a world record. Now, as far as this track goes, there are several very difficult locations on it. First off, you got to string together 5 corners, absolutely perfect to get a good lap time down. There's several jumps that are going to go over. Both of them, you have to be angling to the right. You also have to get your braking zones just right on these hairpin corners in order to actually make it down there with the right speed. Too slow, and it's going to take you forever to get through the corner. Too fast, and you're absolutely hitting a wall because there's a lot of very close barriers that stopped so many of my tries. This took me several hours to complete, but hopefully you guys enjoy the race. If you do, maybe hit that like button or subscribe. I'll see you guys next time, and have a great day. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar. With the ribbons. Full break. Kind of a slow start. Oh, I'm in trouble. How'd I get away with that? Oh well. Enough times it stole it from me. That time it gave me one. Don't overcook this. There it is. There it is. Yeah, baby, go! World record. Woo! Mm-hmm. Boom! Ooh! Look at that! In a Trans Am, dude. In a Trans Am.